afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing propaganda cast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of the Reich, Defender of the Fatherland, off here to 1 versus 1 on Arnhem Checkpoint. This half we got Von Asten fighting here for freedom, democracy, the American way, with the 1st Armored Division, straight up with Armor Company. Assaulting years and double rations on the way here in the north. We got Webster Bolik fighting for the German army of Deutschland, taking on the role here of the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision with German infantry, mobile defense and spearhead doctrine with triple infantry versus Von Asten's, of course, armor with triple infantry as well. Assault units rolling out here. 5 heavily equipped men there with the M3 grease gun, as it was known. Double grenadiers here for Webster Bolik. No sign of MG42s here in the early game. Might end up being necessary versus the assault units, since they get close to the grenadiers, they will absolutely beat them silly. So an MG42 to help keep them slightly at distance could prove to be crucial here for Webster Bolik in the early moments of the game. Will have to obviously come down to how Von Asten ends up using his assault units as they move forward. In the east, regions advancing there, west moving up as well here. Looks like Von Asten might try and use the assault units for a disruptive start, throwing off Webster Bolik's early game. Grenadiers pounding moves westwards. There go first engagements. Carbines versus Karnat TKs, and rifle squad on the way there for Von Asten. Could have possibly considered more than one assault unit squad. Some players like to do that, but Von Asten here prefers a balanced approach. Like his breakfast, balanced. The high balance, of course, is another matter. Grenadiers opening up the assault units. Mason standing about here, getting closer to the Grenadiers, but at the same time can't easily just take a direct path, in which case he might just get shot to bits. And there go tagging into the west, going for the calf point. Reactions in this case drawing far, but there go quick chance to the assault units there. Nice response to the Webster Bolik. More Grenadiers moving in, but in this case the Grenadiers here in the west at least will be cut down with the assault units. Of course, the trickier question is now for Von Asten then to cross the road again to deal with these Grenadiers, and likely won't be able to do that, so that could give Webster Bolik a bit of time. But on the other hand, he is losing the calf point, and he's going to lose a bit of early fuel here to Von Asten. Grease guns and carbines being blasted across the roads as Karnat TKs return response with a bit more accuracy. And we got Webster Bolik here with a very early sniper, 2 Grenadiers into a sniper. Interesting build there by Webster Bolik. We'll see how that works out. Assault units there retreating, rifle moving up to back up as Von Asten continues his fighting around the calf point here and disrupting in the east. And things are pretty much just going nicely as he's drawing all Webster Bolik's forces towards the west. Webster's obviously going to try and aim for a disruptive, well, not disruptive, but attrition style build here, at least initially, to try and bleed out the Americans slowly. And that way push ahead. First sniper shot there, and Joe goes down. Pearson's routed here as the Grenadiers moving up here for the Panzerlehr. Snipers hanging back there. First armoured infantry falling a bit back. Down here we got the Lieutenant Lloyd Von Asten. That's going to be an aggressive build. They also like to go for the M20 to counter the sniper. And can of course follow up with a Stuart light tank if it becomes necessary. Just, you know, useful. Rifle versus Pioneers here, closing the aggressive lieutenant out for Von Asten. I imagine that'll be the upgrade for the company of the platoon command post, so they can swiftly move onwards towards the M20. Pretty much in these regions they're securing, digging in, could hit the munitions point up there. Giving Von Asten access to 2 munitions point, and then going 20 utility car on the way for Von Asten, the 1st Armoured Grenadiers with sniper support advancing for Webster Bolik. 1 sniper kill so far. Troops reinforcing, assault units back there as well. Bit more to go before we equip any flamethrowers in these gentlemen, primarily because he's a bit short on munitions. Oh, there he goes, actually upgrading as well, never mind me. Of North Eastern versus Grenadiers here, that's going to be a win there for Webster Bolik. 1-on-1, that is a usual win for the Grenadiers. The relations, of course, do have teeth. Pushing aggressively here, Webster Bolik taking advantage of the initial rout here by Von Asten as he just swiftly advance the front line here and push his opponents back as fast as possible. Good idea there by Webster Bolik. Rifle and assault moving in again. Flamethrower's almost done, and we got the M20 as well here. From a strong push here for Von Asten potentially. Webster Bolik is taking up, but he's too not going to time here to stop the M20. So, depending on how Von Asten handles it, Webster Bolik could find himself pushed back very rapidly, and there's certainly a high possibility of losing the sniper. Noting that I do not think he's actually laying down any mines. In this case, he's, I believe, doing this just to avoid, in part, I think, giving its position in case he sort of gets too close anyways, or, you know, might just hope to ensure he doesn't immediately turn around to fight something irrelevant. There you go, Grenadiers cause a bit of trouble here. No, by the way, upgrade there for the... Ooh, there we go. Routed, and in fact we can see the M20 rush here is collapsing Webster Bullock's entire frontage as... Well, he's got nowhere really stopping it unless he can get close enough for the Panzerfaust. Which is exactly what Webster Bullock lacked. Big few Grenadiers here moving up swiftly and bravely onto the right flank, going to hit von Asten's fuel cut-off point there. Very good. Soldiers versus Pioneers, Flamethrower versus Flamethrower. Promise, but soldiers just overall have the advantage here due to larger numbers and, you know, better weaponry. M20 moving up here. Armoured skirts halfway done. He might try and push into the base, try and get the sniper. They're a bit more risky. 2-2 on the way for Webster Bullock. Ambulance almost done. And there you go, hitting the point again. He might want to lay down some mines for the assault engineers. I mean, to say, you know, the sniper hits that, would be pretty great, but as it stands, he does not have the munitions for it. Ambulance up for von Asten as well. Love to see what he goes from next. He could consider 50 calibers. He could also go for a Stuart light tank. And that way pressure his opponent harder. Grenadiers right here in the east by the M20. And Webster Bullock sniper here opening up on the Americans, forcing away the lieutenant, who decides he's got better places to be than being snapped at by the Germans. M20 running about here swiftly, trying to look at it. Nice handling there. Oh, catching the snub out in the open. Almost got him instead of getting caught there. Need to retreat. Smoke popped. Need to get... Oh, what happened there? I think there might have been a misclick here. Something about von Asten, or he was hoping to use the bazooka, but... Instead... Oh, no! Webster Bullock seizes the M20 under von Asten's nose. Vehicle crew needs to get out of there fast before it's annihilated. The M20 is cutting them apart and... Oh my goodness. He lost the vehicle crew as well and the bazooka. He's at least grabbed the bazooka, but that is quite a loss there. Not only did he lose, you know, essentially the M20 actually handed her to his enemy, and he lost the vehicle crew in the process. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. That seemed to have been a bit of a misclick, or some idea there that seemed nice on paper, but in reality turned out to be less nice. Either way, though, that's an M20 there for the Webster Bullock. Stuart light tank, they're following up people von Asten to try and turn the tide with a bit more aggression, a bit more firepower, and more importantly, more armour. It's quite a chance there, bunker going up. Stuart halfway down, von Asten's forces a bit depleted again after that M20 utility car loss. Also a big thanks to Simon for donating and supporting the Propaganda Cast. Most appreciated, Simon. Fixing up there. Lieutenant going here for the Grenadiers. Cat standing in front of the screen at the moment, blocking things a bit there. 2-2 moving down, catching the SWAT units out in the open. Sadly lacking now the ability to move remotely threaten the 2-2 unless it gets lacking on an anti-tank rifle grenade. 50 caliber up, we've got the Stuart now here, the M5A1. Stuart light tank out here for von Asten. There we go, rolling straight down the road here. Also got some mines down here from von Asten. And you're going straight for the 2-2-2. First shot misses. Second shot, though, should have a better chance here. There we go, good hits. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to even take out the M20. That'd be at least somewhat of a recovery there. Rifle need to retreat, saying sniper fire. Going to be a fire. Got gunners moving up here. Students go. They've got the M20 moving in. There you go, Panzerfaust off. Nice hit on the M20 by the Stuart. Nice hit. Second shot goes wrong. Rifleman retreating, close to death, but survived. And we got the M20 pursuing here. I think it's just to prevent von Asten from just immediately popping up some repairs on it close to the front line. He's basically forcing it to further and further pull back away from the front line if he wants to repair it safely. Otherwise, you know, he threatens to kill the crew and steal that as well, which would be pretty awkward for von Asten, but not now. Webster Bullock's making a bit of a mistake. He's actually trying to repair one under fire from the Stuart. I'm thinking in this case he was hoping that von Asten would not risk his Stuart here and just pull it back, but von Asten displayed some true balls of steel and weathered it out and took out the M20, compensating for the loss they suffered earlier to completely decimate Webster Bullock's forces now. Nice work there. Stuart is now veteran T2. We also got the veteran crew then up, the crew there with the Thompsons, better repairability and of course better experience gains as well. So that's going to be quite unpleasant there for Webster Bullock. Stuart already halfway done, 50 couple on the way there. A machine gun away for Webster Bullock, plus More pioneers, very good. But mobile defense versus armor will have to see, of course, how much Webster Bullocks being used. We got no tech as of yet, so you can't go for Pumas. There's certainly counter-attack tactics and panzer tactics that could be used here. Steward rolling in, there we go. Veterans do gain on the Steward light tank crew. Much nastier, much more lethal. Trying to get that sniper, and I think it's a good chance. There you go, Grenadiers bring in to assist to cut off with the Panzerfaust. Then again, Fanaston, might not care. Once more, the sniper escapes. A small victory there for Webster Burlick. Lucky he did not suffer wipe there to the Steward's light tank. 50 carbon number 2 on the way for Fanaston, help lock down ground. And again, car point being hit there. Fanaston very much on the ball with that fuel harassment against Webster Burlick. And the Panzer Division Steward rolling back here. Pioneers need to be careful. We got the soldiers ready to back up the Steward here, forming up a small task force here. Rifleman also nearby to assist if needed. Back here, troops reinforcing. 50 coming to on the way, almost done. No weapon racks or grenades as yet here for Van Asten. We got that MG42 in action opening up, but a bit exposed position here. Pack 40 following up for Webster Burlick. There goes suppressed before they got off the Panzerfaust. Pretty lucky there for Van Asten. Gonna be in fact almost wiped out. And this dude is halfway to the ace level, further prompting problems for Webster Burlick's not careful. Kind of about to get annihilated. Not good. Quickly changing targets. We got the soldier supporting as well here now. Engaging through the small shed and, well, attacking through it with a flamethrower, which seems a bit hazardous. Still, Van Asten's getting control of the center. He's got the right hand side where Webster Burlick has not been particularly active. Compared to the Van Asten's been very active at harassing Webster Burlick's resources, slowing down his potential for taking out fast. MD4 troop being routed here by the Steward, halfway to the ace level. 5th Cavalry is here routing Webster Burlick in the center. So despite the loss of the M20 in a most awkward manner, Van Asten has been able to turn the situation around and is now once more in control of the battlefield. That's some really impressive play there by Van Asten. Stout work. 5th coming up in the west. Back here, troops here reinforcing for Van Asten and the 1st Armoured. Push forward, super strength to the 5th Cavalry. So there we got the Pack 40 nearby. So there you go. Still, just the threat of the Steward flanking up that causes Webster Burlick to immediately retreat everything, in part to protect the sniper here from the Steward. 5th Cavalry there being hit, hitting off the cutoff point. You can grab both fuel points, that of course allow Van Asten to take a hit really fast and pull for medium armor, which of course with the elite vehicles upgrade would be quite helpful.
German forces tracking on 300 points.
But so far no tech for Van Asten. Slightly missed opportunity there, I would personally say.
Losing a capture point.
5th Cavalry on the front from MD42 stood nearby. We got the slow approach here by Webster Burlick. Right hand side once more though, seeing no real action. Stood providing covering fire against the infantry. Machines there being routed, and the lieutenant is dispatched as well there with all haste. Big engagement here. Rifleman assault is trying to stall Webster Burlick's advance into the town square, but Webster Burlick is having none of that. He commits more infantry, more force, and forces Van Asten to fall back, leaving in control of absolutely no parts of the map in terms of actual strength. Of course, he technically still holds it, but that's not going to be for long. We got grenades and weapon racks now for Van Asten. Still no sign of tech though. That's a bit interesting. I mean, he could be theoretically pushing for some armor soon enough, but seems to be delaying that for whatever reasons. Stewart there, very close to the ace level. There you go. Mine goes off, killing several grenadiers. Troops hit well, healing, but need a reinforcement. Grenades up, and weapon racks will also be unlocked as well here for Van Asten. So halfway done there. Big push towards the center to throw up Webster Burlick and his merry band of Nazis from the center. And in the west, Webster Burlick digging in the machine gun snipers Pack 40s, trying to establish an anchor point here, which Van Asten will not be able to, theoretically at least, easily dislodge.
Weapon rack is now accessible.
Soldiers pushing back the Grenadiers east side. I mean, he could try and go for a really deep flank, sneaking up, forcing, getting behind Webster Burlick's front line. That could be quite effective. Could also theoretically threaten the retreat path of the sniper, but so far Von Asten does not quite seem to be fond of that idea. The Lieutenant there going for a somewhat deep flank, still trying to go on their run, but got too close to the Grenadiers, got Panzerfausted. Bit of a stick situation there. Pack 4 is exposed, machine gun turning about here. Incendiamo appears around to pop. Very nice timing there. Quick, there we go. Wipe the assault units, causing Von Asten to lose his one assault unit and the flamethrowers. And now, of course, the steward might be an additional trouble as nice to try and escape. Not just the, Pat. Oh, there we go. Incendiamo appears around. It's almost running off, but still. Steward is in a bad spot here. Von Asten can't easily retract it. I think he might be stalling for the Bulldozer Sherman, or the 100 Howitzer Sherman. We'll have to see how that works out, but again, I do contend he might be better off just trying to pull for a tank as fast as possible. There you go, machine gun routed out. Steward is just driving in circles around that small house. Rest of his force meanwhile remaining in the base healing. Needs to get out some more infantry soon. He's actually quite short on it. And there you go, Bulldozer showing a little bit here for Von Asten. Got it on the way. Webster Bullock has teched up, but we're not seeing anything there from him in further signs for anything. There he goes, 2 straight into the Pack 40 and gets knocked out. Still ended up doing a ton there for Von Asten. 2 light vehicles and a bunch of infantry. Now, man, one of those light vehicles was previously his own. Pack 40 crew though finally goes down to the 5th Cavalry machine gun, but that's about to go down here to Webster Bullock's counterattack. And there you go, utterly annihilated. Not a good development there for, I think, Von Asten in the end. But there you go, Bulldozer shown to the rescue, almost gets the Pioneers for the 5th Cavalry crew, should at least be able to finish with one of them. 5th Cavalry there on the way. Nasty on the Grenadiers, but taking hit here from the Panzer Abwehr on the field, routing the heavily equipped German tank, and there you go. Almost got another unit there, but once more, almost. Need to quickly get that repaired. And he still, I feel like, needs more infantry versus Webster, who is in the meanwhile bringing up more support weapons. Might be he's planning to stall for tier 4 here. With that move.
Our supply line just got cut off. Engineers taking the field.
Fresh assault units out for Von Asten. Flamethrowers being added as well. Corresponding sees Pioneers got a big fat counterattack force there. Von Asten, Rifle Lieutenant with bars. Who knows, being the rear, someone's got a few there. Yep, got a bar there up on them as well. He's clearly not too worried about any tanks so far from Webster. And it's just going to focus on murdering Webster's infantry. 100 firemen with Sherman ready here for Von Asten. Usually each Sherman battalion of the most grateful regiment at least have I think a pair of them to support the rest of the Sherman, clearing up, dug in positions and the like. So, little fun note there. Growing point C. Destroying the wreck there. Machine gun sitting up behind the old truck. That's going to get hammered here by the 100 Sherman. Nasty hit, but no kills. No kills, just a lot of damage. But nothing fatal. Push here through centre east. Not bad there by Webster. Pack 4 does the mean to deal with the Sherman head on. Mines being laid down the victory point. Not bad there. Noting Von Asten has a very big lead here. Webster Bullock with 433 versus Webster's 256. Von Asten still not taking him, actually going for a captain now, and to tank guns on Megan likes, maybe pack out at some point. Rather need to be careful in these, got a big push in there. Sherman's going to have to roll in to deal with that. Pioneers in the centre, dealing with that machine gun. Oh, he gets out of there just in time. Double packs opening up the Sherman. Nice read there for Webster on the situation by Von Asten, almost taking out his tank. Smokescreen being laid down here to cover the retreat of the Sherman. Nice play there in the east though. Von Asten's line crumbles under the sheer weight of Webster's infantry. As the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision advances forward, and we got a command tank out to help his infantry absorb a bit more damage here from the armies. Captain almost done. In the east, Grenadiers sneaking about here, taking advantage of the collapse of the eastern flank here of Von Asten. Just sweep up everything. Very nice work there. Very nice work there by Webster Bullock. Could use some counter-attack tactics to help seize territory faster. Very nice ability when used like that. Pearson's being used to assist here, though not entirely what he's doing there. Captain out though here for Von Asten. We'll obviously see what he follows up with in the wake of that. Either way, though, his fuel supply has gone rather to the dumps, with all that being cut off here, and he's going to have to work hard to re-enable his fuel income here versus Webster Bolick and the Panzerlehr Panzer to be short. Paxson watching alongside Grenadiers, and at least we've got Raf moving up, or a lieutenant actually. Could pop a grenade here if you can sort of throw it in a sort of slight, reasonably close one, but at the same time with a chance of weapon retreat. There you go. Well, he might could have thrown a bit faster, but either way. Grenadiers routed, well sooner, not faster, but sooner. And Pioneers on the west side here. Snipers will hang close to the command tank. Snipers gotten so far 17 kills, not bad at all there for Webster. Bit problematic for Van Asten. There you go. Got the Honda Farming Machine moving up there, routing the Grenadiers. Nasty hit, but no casualties. Got an anti-tank up here as well. He's clearly worried about enemy armor. Certainly understandable. As for Webster, we still got no Suppomacon, we still got no take-up. We got the Honda Farming Machine moving up the strength of the Pack 40s here. Again, a reasonable good read here by Webster on Van Asten. Almost taking out the Bulldozer Sherman. One small bit of a unfortunate development there for Van Asten and the first armoured. Of course, have to see what he plans next. But he's going to have to repair that one. A mortar, I think, could be helpful here for Van Asten dealing with some of Webster's dug-in elements. Could at least provide a smoke screen to obfuscate the line of fire of the Pack 40s. Maybe allowing the Bulldozer Sherman to get behind and just blast them out. There you go. M1 opening up here on the command tank with Philip's Panzerwagenfear. Minewindorf there, but sadly not quite within range from the anti-tank to finish it off. There we go, back to repair. We got the assault units, we got the Rearsons, and we got the vehicle crew there. In theory, at least the Rearsons should all be joining. There we go. All hard at work on fixing that Bulldozer Sherman, getting fastest interactions fast as possible. That's very good. That is excellent. Still not great for the battalion command post. Still not take up for Webster either. There we go. Honda Farming Sherman ready. Wait, didn't he have that one upgraded with a 5th caliber? Did he cancel that? Or is that just me? One of these bringing in rather than the lieutenant as he tried to creep up in the east. We'll have to see what he's doing here with this one. Sniper caught right in front of the Bulldozer Sherman. He's like not going to get it on the retreat here, but it could have been a nice threat. Pack 40s this time around, they weren't quite ready for this one, and we could see the machine in a bit of trouble here. So he's now found himself isolated right in front of the Sherman. He could have smoked it while moving about there. So I hope your infantry follow up on this, but in the end he does force a route here. And the machine gun there takes the route here through the front door, closest to where the Pack 40s are, and that way ensure he doesn't get potentially wiped. Morton Light for Van Asten, very good. Definitely needed as well, I think, to help deal with some all of Webster's support weapons. A good smoke screen, for example, can be quite useful. In these Grenadiers versus the echelons, and the assault units might need the Sherman over here. Van Asten still not taking note versus Webster, and Webster, I think, also remains so far on. Oh, he does. Well, he's got the tech, but he's not doing anything with it. He's just taking up further. So it's a bit unclear there what Webster's planning, and similarly, I'm not entirely sure what Van Asten's strategy is as such. This was going to be seeing these bars and such being filled out the Grenadiers, but there's too low on health, I think, to really win that engagement, so he has to retreat rapidly. Bulldozer Sherman there fixed up again, 4 kills, the veterans who won. Rifling it off at the 5th caliber there. More to find the church command tank moving in. 5th caliber being added to the Bulldozer Sherman. And moving in to deal with the Grenadiers in the east back here, healing enforcement. As for Webster, still nothing. There you go, Grenadiers routed here by the Bulldozer Sherman. Rather than occupying the church, but find themselves met with an awful lot of Germans, and they rather lack the ability to deal with an awful lot of Germans. Got that 5th caliber good to go. For Van Asten. Sending out the Sherman. Still no further signs of take it there by Van Asten. And Webster Bolick is finally taking out for tier 4. He could honestly done that much, shouldn't he? He could actually have a heavy panzer crop by now. At least, you know, then maybe in the decision between a Panzerwerfer, Sturmpanzer, or Panther, but definitely feels a bit sloppy there by Webster. Nasty hit there on the MG, routed by that Sherman. If you had the munitions, I'd probably suggest for Neston laying down some mines. Until then, tech up is better, and I believe we are finally seeing him taking up. He could have done that I think, a lot sooner as well, but that's another story. We'll have to see what it goes for. I mean, if you sort of consider how some players are currently playing it, he'll probably just begin going for a lot of M10 tank destroyers, though I think a few regular Sherms help absorb hits and such could be useful. On top of the Chelsea Bulldozer Sherman. Left side is reasonably weakly defended to a certain degree. I mean, a good flank I think could undermine Webster's left flank. And there you go, though. Hits a man with the Bulldozer Sherman, taking down to half health. That was most likely an Atella mine. Nice work there by Webster. But unable to follow up with it, it's going to get away. Mortar round almost landed directly on the Grenadiers. That had been quite a blow there to Webster. Hey, Panther caught up, and he can go for, well, he should be up. Yep, so you can go for Panthers, Sturmpanzers, or a bunch of Pantherwerfers. We'll have to see what Webster ends up with here. Rather than each retreat soon, their position is quickly being overwhelmed by the sheer number of Webster's infantry. There we go. Mortar being almost taken up over the Grenadiers, and there you go, taken out by the command tank. We got Lears and Zink that came from inside the restaurant here, pushing back more of Webster's troops, but Webster still remains, I think, in an overall stronger position here versus Van Asten, but also the mortar did not do him a lot of favours. But at least he's got the possibility of building tanks, hard tank destroyers, and again I imagine we'll see at least one M10 tank destroyer being unleashed to deal with this command tank from Webster Bolek. And he does go for the Sturmpanzer here, Webster. Clearly not worried about the potential of anything serious in terms of armour. Webster decides to focus on the infantry, murdering that is, with the Sturmpanzer. Lieutenant here being suppressed by the 50 car there that Webster stole from him. That's less good. There we go, M10 on the way for Van Asten. Bulldozer moving ahead. There you go. Shoots, shatters the cover, but signing up machine gun at pack 40 million as well here. Sturmpanzer almost done for Webster Bolek. Almost, but not quite. He's very slow approaching. There you go. Snipers shooting again. So far managed to keep that one alive for quite some time. Nice work. And as all this is happening, by the way, Webster's hitting the eastern side, hitting the victory point, and the other points they're hitting the fuel point. Very good play there by Webster. Very good play. M10 almost down there for Van Asten and the 1st Armoured Division. There you go, tank destroy out. Apparently there's very large rivets on the sides of our area for some potentially planned additional armour that could be like added to the side of the tank destroyer, though I think they were rarely, if ever, added. The M10 tank destroyer was primarily intended to be used as a tank destroyer, but some crews would use it as a tank, which rather tipped off American high command, so they actually ended up replacing about half of all the tank destroyers in the tank destroyer battalions with anti-tank guns, which rather caused them some problems during Operation the Battle of the Bulge, Operation Herbstnebel, where they then of course found themselves a lot less flexibly able to deal with the Germans' attacks. Still fun note there, but yeah, some M10s were used as tanks simply because they kind of look like them, but of course they weren't ideally suited for it due to having an open top turret, which was great for tank destroying and all that, nice line of sight, but rather unfortunate for tanking and working close as an infantry. Lieutenant routed, M10 there going for a flank here against him. Spots the sniper, can't quite finish up on that one. Victory points wise. Van Asten remains in the lead, but that lead has swiftly been closed between him and Webster Bolek, as Webster Bolek's been able to now control victory points much more consistently. Mortars back in action. Sturmpanzer moving about. Here we got a pack 4 that got wiped out. He destroyed the crew himself. And he's destroying the pack as well. Interesting. My guess is that Webster Bolek is basically deciding he's does not anymore need the double pack 40, so he wants to open up his population and then, of course, deny the entertainment there to his opponent. I'm guessing the idea is he might be planning for a Panther next. Oh, so now tells you where to destroy pack 40. An interesting move there, though, by Webster Bullock, though you could argue it's a bit cruel to blow apart his own men like that. Alright, I need you to stand in front of this very big, large assault panzer. Just ignore when I give it the firing order. You'll be perfectly fine. And the tank in the M10 versus the Sturmpanzer head-on. Armor piercing rounds would be helpful here to help increase the armor penetration chances. Popping smoke is going to fire attack round there. Oh, no attack round here, though, by von Asten. There he goes, shoots. Realizes it's just standing about there. And the Sturmpanzer gets away. Bit of a unfortunate moment there for von Asten, countering about here. Killing some of Webster's infantry. Mortar fire landing down. Cap needs to get out of there fast. M10 just blasting the ground now. And Webster should be able to go for the Panther now. As for von Asten, if he goes for another M10 or another Bullet Sherman over the sea, if he goes for Jacksons or regular Shermans. 50 cal needs to go. It's at ace level, but it's also low and healthy. And Webster just keeps running into the town square. There we go, Vesney 2 on the Bulldozer Sherman. That is definitely a bit more problematic there for Webster. As they do get to fire faster, and it becomes a bit tougher. Panther though is slowly ramming here for Webster Bullock, and the Panzer Panther is Sean. And for that, von Asten's going to need some serious tank firepower, I think. Snide Barway at the ace level there with 32 kills. Nicely done, nicely done. They're being seized. Bit more of a Tiger war here across the centre now. Von Asten feels a bit more defensive, but also because he keeps the tank for the centre right where most of the weapons at Bullock's can be pointed, so he tends not to really get, go much further than that a lot of the time. There's no grand flanks here. House collapses, or the restaurant collapses, as you like to call it, the restaurant there, under the sheer firepower of the Bulldozer there. He almost got a wipe there. Could take out the machine gun here with heavy machine gun fire, and the fire of the Bulldozer Sherman gets away though. Close one, but not quite. There we go, being routed. We got a target weak point. Heat round goes through the armor. There we go. We got the Panther moving in. He could risk losing the Sherman. He's popping out the crew to preserve it, I think. A bold move here by Webster also, I think, to draw away the automatic fire there of the enemy. And seems to actually work out here. Close one there for von Asten. Also the M10 moving up here through the west road to try and threaten Webster's flanks. Also proved quite helpful there. Still, von Asten filling resources, manpower and fuel. Is he planning a Jackson here? Or what is von Asten's big plan? Panther moving forwards. 1 kill so far. Rearsome's routed. We got this one moving up. We got the Pack 40 or the Panther here. The other Pack 40 is a bit further behind. I mean, von Asten's right now in control of the map. He's once more bleeding out his opponent, and there we go. We got the M36 Jackson there to back up the M10 and the 105mm Bulldozer Sherman. Fun fact: the M36 Jackson and the M10 will ring actually both based off the Sherman tank's chassis. It would only be the M18 Hellcat which would actually get a more purpose-built chassis as a tank destroyer. Fun fact, it was also incredibly lightly armoured though. But on the other hand, the M18 Hellcat was also really fast. Command tank going up, anti-tank and pointing in the wrong direction, I'm afraid. 10 moving up. And go 5th cover to round it. There you go, M10 learns a nice hit. They're piercing the command tank side armor. Ooh, direct hit on the sniper. Sadly not a kill there for von Asten. Close, but no cigar. Bulldozer Sherman on the move again. M36 Jackson out here for von Asten. Equipped with a 90mm cannon. Same as used by the way on the Pershing. There we go, Grenadiers in the fire here. Mine goes off, almost wiping the entire Grenadier squad, but sadly for von Asten this, Jurgens survives. For Webster, of course, that's great news. Descent range to the command tank, hit close to Betty 2 in the west. We got Sonya Steam with the Pioneers. He looks like Webster Bullock's not quite paying attention. Heavy fire rain down here on the machine gun. And tank and backing things up here. And there you go, almost got the MG42s firing inside gun pistols. I'm going to try and stall it for Nassen's advance here, but it's not working out. And there we go. Full wipe and destruction. Small win here, but there you go. Command tank flying up against the 2 tank destroyers. A pretty risky move here. Anti-tank fire there. Could see the total loss of Webster's Panther. M36 Jackson misses. Could pop 8 rounds here on the M10. Doesn't. And the Panther gets away. The missed opportunity possibly here by Von Asten. Really close though. Really close. And Webster here could have lost the Panther. But again, I think again had he popped the 8 rounds, so that would have been it. But oh well. Bullstrom dealing with the DC in the east. He's got control of the center. He's flanking about in the west, finding machine gun there being overwhelmed. Could see look back here for America, freedom and democracy. And there we go. 50 caliber back under Von Asten control. Opening up west flank as well here. Webster's under a lot of pressure. We've got artillery called in now here as well. Trying to prevent it from using this corner to attack the center for now. Bar there, bar left behind. Shed takes a direct hit, completely crumbling under the sheer weight of American artillery. Boulder Shrem being repaired. M10 also need repairs. We'll have to see what gets next. More M10s. That's going to be 136s. Oh, some regular Shermans. Though with the Panther about, I'm suspecting Jacksons. Panzer Grenadier here for Webster Bullock at this stage. Not bad. Noting Barbie, he's actually not gotten anything out of the doctrine except some Panzer Division uses, which is a bit of a... Oh, well, that was the command tank. But still, you know, could try and use the doctrine just a tad more. And in the west, sadly loses the unit here to the command tank, but just to retreat. Webster, well, finishes that one off. Panzer Grenadier almost done here for Webster Bullock. And the Panzer there, Panzer Division. Back base, healing reinforcement. And we got another M10 out here for Von Asten. Betching 2 on that mortar crew. Rolling in the M10, I would say rather aggressively up the left flank with no real support. Might just be for reconnaissance purposes. Check out, is the 5th caliber still there? Could he still use it against Webster Bullock? Or has Webster Bullock reclaimed it? And I think that's exactly what it's doing there. No, it quickly pulls away. And of course, with the speed and the line of sight that the M10 has, it can be used, essentially as a reconnaissance vehicle as well. Though it's obviously not something that's wildly advisable, but it can be used for it. Second M10 moving in there. Panzer going to be moving up straight to the rifleman here. There we go, double Panther hits on the M10. In the centre we got the Panther moving in. There's one now going for the 2 M10s here. We got the 8 rounds once out here for Von Asten. Panther does not pursue. We got the bullets from there being flanked close to the ace level though. Push for the centre again here by Webster Bullock and sneak up the right flank as well with Grenadiers. Very good play there. Grenadiers rounded from the centre. Victory points wise. Von Asten remains in lead over Webster Bullock with 265 versus 100. So it's starting to look a bit dicey here for Webster Bullock and the Panzer Panzer Division. Pioneers straight into the ace machine gun, and we've got the ace sniper on the job here. 47 kills, that is definitely quite a fish, but there you go, routed. The sniper needs to retreat that machine gun. I would say losing a veteran 3 machine guns right now is going to be a bit of a loss there for Von Asten. One he might struggle to actually survive. Sturm Panther moving in again. Boulder Sherman ready, 2 M10s are ready as well. Eastern Point, seems like Von Asten's kind of forgot about that one. Direct shots fired, there you go. Ace pack crew there with target recon as well. They're backing up the Sturm Panther, very nice. We've got the anti-tank on the job. Ace level as well, very good as well here for him, but he's really risking losing the Boulder Sherman. We've got a smoke screen off. Too late though. He saved the crew, which is something. I mean, you can use that theoretically, boost up one of the M10s to help deal with the Panther. Theoretically, get another Boulder Sherman, then pop it in there. I think would be a really good idea for Von Asten. They can just use the spare crew as infantry crew. We'll have to see if Von Asten actually does this. I would say few players are usually actually good at using the whole, experienced crews, boost up other vehicles like they want to be, good at the moment. The only 2 players around I can recall that actually ever do that are Dave, and he does seem to be playing the game at the moment. He seems to have slightly vanished. Or Twisted Tootsie. Those are really the only 2 players at the moment I know of that sort of remotely can do that. Grabbing the victory point here in the east. And landing some great hits on the Panther, putting him down to, well, almost half up, not quite fast enough. We got Ostrov out here for Webster Bolik, and there you go, creating them light machine guns, filling up the front line ranks with some cheaper and more disposable infantry.
A capture point is under attack.
Putting out 3 abilities used. Faster meanwhile has used, I mean, it's a reasonable amount. The Doctor, in fact, you could argue say he's used all of it. Though, of course, some of these things are passive like the vehicle crew, but you know.
75 points.
Sadly, he does not seem to be trying to use his veteran crew here to actually boost up his M10s. Since, again, he would probably have a closer veteran for the M10, which would, you know, be quite helpful. Versus the Panther, you know, higher rate of fire, for example, is really good with a, you know, already fast-firing tank destroyer, which would then you also use its HVAC rounds. So, I would say a small missed opportunity here by Von Asten. M10, they're taking some nasty hits. Major making a rush there for the centre. We got one M10 moving up here to flank. Major absolutely demolished. We got bunkers up here in the west centre. Very good. In the west we got nothing there, but still digging in with bunkers to help you know, slow down his opponents. Is really good, in particular when he is low in victory points himself. Entertaining their hits here from the Sturmpanzer, which is using its bunker busting barrage to bust more than just bunkers, but actual chaps. Ace 5th over there is the Ostrom in the centre. We've got Pantigs moving in there. M10 taking a lot of damage, and there you go. Losing a tank destroyer as well here. Things are falling a bit apart here for Nassen in the face of Webster bullets, increasing nasty force. Noting actually Webster did lose a sniper at some point. Nice work there by Von Asten. But right now I would say Von Asten's got bigger issues to handle rather than just panning himself on the back for taking out a sniper. Of course, that's still good. Now Webster's got the large armoured force, and infantry-wise he's also looking reasonably solid, though not perfect. He's also lacking in support weapons, besides Pack 40. Panzerjäger straight into the mine. Nice mining there by Von Asten. Very nice mining. Ace tank moving up with lone health vehicle crew there, obliterated, sanded. Try and take out that bunker run. The Sturmpanzer, I think, is a bit of a mistake then, particularly when it's so low on health. Now the infantry extraction out here for Von Asten. Sadly, that smoke from that is not going to be an easy grab when you centre victory point, I think, near for Von Asten in the west. We've got Rifle moving ahead, we've got the M10 moving forward once more. I mean, once it gets to Jackson, I'd strongly recommend him popping in the vehicle crew there, so again, he can just get that M36 Jackson crew up to, like, who knows, oh, well, the tank itself maybe up to veteran 3's close to it, since again, that would help a lot versus the Panther and the Sturmpanzer. But I'd have to see if Von Asten actually does that, though. Or mines could also be an idea, then again, he might at this stage be setting up for another 240mm Hardy barrage. So far, not looking like Von Asten's going to have his more experienced field crew actually use the Jackson. Bit of a shame there. Fun fact though, while the Americans in the game are the ones who find himself a lot using the vehicle crew as infantry as well, the reality is that was actually much more common for the German army. In some cases they actually would have to field entire battalions like that, since they simply lack tanks and tanks, you know, have the crews, you know, pop into the active fighters infantry, which of course not exactly what they're signed up for. It's a little fun fact there. Got the M36 section moving up, shoots and misses the Sturmpanzer, and looks like we got a second bunker up here by the western victory point. Very nice. Hitting Neeson as well. Here we can see Webster Bolik's very slowly turning the tide here on Von Asten now. He's got the larger force, and Von Asten is seemingly struggling a bit.
We're at 200 points.
M10 moving ahead again. Vehicle crew under fire here. Still very experienced crew being used as infantry, rather than actually trying to use the experience better in one of the tank destroyers. And there you go, mortar crew taking a hit, anti-tank opening up, no armor piercing around, still doing some nice damage here. Down to less than half health, nice work. Pioneer's been crushed here by the M10. Panzerjägers are following up, and Von Asten's infantry complement nearby is, well, not there. Up in the fires, we've got the Lieutenant versus the Ostrom. We got grenade off here, and pop goes that weasel. They're taking still damage here from the light machine gun. Once up close to the center, a good chance there to rout the Ostrom. Very nice. Got the Major joining in the fight here. The battle landing on the Major here, and didn't get him. Ace 5 got still back, but he lost the Ace anti-tank crew. That is a massive blow there to Von Asten. Staggeringly so. So right now, Webster Bolig is securely dug in by at least 2 of the victory points. He's got more infantry, he's got more armor, and Von Asten just keeps attacking head on. He's not really trying to outmaneuver Webster Bolig and pull off some grand maneuver that might just be able to catch a few units of guard, destroy them, and that way also just force maybe Webster Bolig to rout. So this is looking less than healthy for Von Asten, but obviously he pulls off either some sort of brilliant head-on assault, or at least pulls off a good flank. I mean, with the mortar, he could lay down a smoke and try and push ahead here. Got the other Ostroms coming in to avenge their fallen comrades. Heavy bar fire there from the Lieutenant, threatening the Ostrom by a negative cover. Just going to move up here, and we got mortar fire on the bunker. So I'm just going to try and creep up here, and there you go. Fighting for the centre, we've got Pioneers sticking in here, but they are easy targets to the Ace 50 Caliber crew in the west. At the same time, Von Asten's making another push with the rifle and the M10. We've got the machine gun bunker, we've got the Grenadiers, we've got the command tank in the way, and we've got a Veteran 2 Panther as well. Unit wiped out here, mortar silenced by the Sturmpanzer. Nice use of the bunker busting barracks there by Webster Bolig. In the centre, sadly no more Progress in the west. Progress is also turning against Von Asten here as the Panther advances, gets off a nice hit there, takes a hit anti-tank rifle grenade though, and gets damaged engine. In the east, more Ostrom being rushed to deal with the Lieutenant, who has so far managed to fend off quite a few against them, but will this finally be the straw that breaks the camel's back? In there you go, it turns out to be M36 Jackson trying to escape. We've got the Panzerjägers hot on the heels. We got the Ostrom nearby who could Panzerfaust it, making it easier for the Panzerjägers to finish off. There you go, Panzerfaust off. Jackson in a really bad spot here. Von Asten still got the victory point lead, but it is ever decreasing. Like sand grains in an hourglass. He is running out of them. M10 here going to try and crash the Panzer Grenadiers. There we go. Poor Hans. Crash beneath the mighty treads. Might try and use flanking speed here. Another unit wiped out this time. It's the 5th caliber that, you know, pay the ultimate price.
Friendly's down to 100 points. I say again,
Got the Major moving ahead here. Sturmpanzer opening up, gets a kill down one on the Major's 8, and the tank there being destroyed by the enemy anti-tank. We got the Sniper there Veteran 2, 17 kills. Artillery called in on the bunker to try and silence that. That's going to be quite expensive, but should hopefully get the job done. The problem is he is, well, not really controlling much else right now. Wow, that first shot went far off the mark. Big crew once more pinned down to the ground. Assault units moving out. Sturmpanzer moving around the anti-tank and finding a way there. Crew though pretty much just snuffed out. Tank destroyer's been repaired. Center abandoned. Down to 71 versus 71, and there you go. Bunker still standing, though it's just barely. Pioneers moving up. They could actually be wiped if he was not careful. And they were. Leaving Webster Bolig with only one Pioneer squad. Got the M10 now. Moving in to crash the Ostrom. Von Asten's center position there is not exactly good either. Getting flanked here by more Ostrom. Right side is very much Webster's. And he's got the Panther and Sturmpanzer on the move here. Sturmpanzer very close to the ace level, which would definitely be bad news for Von Asten. Well, worse news, I guess, would be more appropriate. M10 though gets Panzerfausted right as it ends up in front of the Panther. That is about as terrible it gets for that M10. But there you go. Jackson to the rescue. Does compel Webster Bolig to pull back his Panther. Got accelerating down the center. M36 Jackson going for Ostrom nearby. The M10 gets a nice hit. No armor piercing rounds. He doesn't have the resource for the HVAPs. Panther takes a nasty hit there. Down to less than half health. Jackson retreats. And the Panzerfaust gets the M10. Brutal fighting here. 44 though versus 71. Von Asten's in the fight, but the question is for how much longer. Should probably get those reinforced. Panther need repairs. Command tank moving in here. Takes out the mortar crew and the mortar. Leaving Von Asten now with absolutely no artillery versus Webster Bolig, further increasing the difficulty for Von Asten to control this sector. He's mining up and grabbing the eastern victory point, very nice. We got Pax and Snipers creeping at the centre. Lujando's moving in to block. But the Sturmpanzer's all in the move here to snuff out Von Asten's hope by the looks of it. Pack crew goes down. Raffinet annihilated by the Sturmpanzer. Command tank joining in the fun as well here. Almost got him. 34 points left here for Van Asten. It's a desperate fight, but Van Asten continues to keep fighting in there. Goes shot for Panzers off the Sturmpanzer von Salma. Jax moves in. M10 bounce again, but we got the ace level here. Sturmpanzer bombards the anti-tank and crew, shattering the crew and most likely anti-tank as well. Nope. That survives. Jax moving in, they're taking fire from the Panther and the Sturmpanzer. Down to less than half of. They got the 8-trip rounds, but it's certainly not looking quite as well up there. In the center, Major goes down. B crew pulls ahead here, gunning down. He's attempting to gun down something there. Almost dead here. Assault units being annihilated. Assault B crew is finally about to go down. Ostrom being blasted by their own. Sniper still alive, by the way. Another ace level. They got more Ostrom out here by Web Symbolic. 58 versus 34. Jackson goes for the Panther. Shoots, penetrates with the Panther being repaired. The Jackson isn't, and Jackson down. The crew is dead, and Joe, there's airborne, and there we go. GG. Game over. Loss for Van Asten. A brutal fight here with some nasty action on both sides. In the end, I feel like Van Asten got, I think, 2 folks in the center, not enough maneuvering, on outmaneuvering Web Symbolic there. Plus, I feel like you should have pushed for faster tanks rather than, you know, the bulldozer into the lots of the M10s. A few issues here and there, and also feel like he should have used that vehicle to crew up one of his tank destroyers, you know, run from the bulldozer to at least get that much more experience faster, and that way, you know, push on against Web Symbolic. So I feel like there's some tactical issues there for Van Asten who held him back compared to Web Symbolic, while he had some issues here and there. I think overall tactics and strategically played more soundly longer run, and, you know, that way wore out his opponent. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. Hope it gave you in these matches. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. And of course, you do subscribe. Remember to press the little bell so you're more likely to get notified about it by YouTube. This is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.